because there's so many people that are putting people inside of a box. Hey my loves, welcome back to my channel. Oh wow, so we have a lot to talk about and to get into today. You may hear the fan and see my backdrop kind of rumbling around back there, but that's pretty much because I have the fan on over here because it gets hot under my ring light. I have a feeling somebody's going to ask me about this hair or about this lip. Let's get into the lip. The lip is actually 3 lip colors that are mixed in together. Both my Nicka True Matte. These colors right here, this one is Harlequin and this one is Cornflower Blue. And then I also mixed in Nyx Liquid Suede Jet Set and got this color right here. That's how I got my lip, and I'm gonna leave it in the description box below. My hair, this is a human hair mix. I just made a wig out of it, and it's one of those little bundle packs by Sensational, so I will leave that in the description box below because this is super duper pretty hair at an inexpensive price. But let's go ahead and jump right into it. I'm probably gonna be looking down because I'm gonna be looking at my phone some for my talking points and notes. But I want to talk about something that is often overshadowed and overlooked, and something that people don't take very seriously. And as a plus size woman myself, this is something that I take very seriously and something that I feel like needs to be addressed. And what better way to address it than to talk about it in a Queen Convo. So, fat shaming. It's real. Yeah, fat shaming is real. It's often something that gets overlooked and overshadowed as to be something that is not that serious, but it is, and it affects so many things. So I've been wanting to talk about this for a while, and I was like, how do you go about talking about this in a Queen Convo? And so I was on my Facebook and I ran across a girl that I went to high school with. Her name is Asia, so shout out to Asia for allowing me to share. And so let's get into what Asia said that really hit home for me to really discuss this topic. She made a post on her Facebook and said, "Second time this week I've been called fat. I guess that's a sign." And it has a sad face. Now this really hit home for me because I felt like, as a woman, now that I am self-assured, I never want to feel the way that I felt growing up. Feeling ugly. Feeling like equivalating, I guess, beauty with my weight. And we're going to get into that and talk about that too. But it was really sad and really hit home for me because being somebody who struggled with self-confidence growing up, it's really sad to hear someone say that or feel like that about themselves, you know? Like, and to Asia, it's not a sign. You are okay just the way that you are, honey. But I asked Asia to inbox me, you know, what exactly happened, and she said she was comfortable with me sharing. And so I'll read to you what she said. "The first time I was at work ringing someone out. I'm not sure why he was smiling or laughing or anything like that, but he pretty much told me that I was getting fat." So this is pretty much probably somebody who was coming to the store and checked out with her before. Talking about the extra pounds that I put on my stomach and all this other stuff. I just kindly told him have a nice day and brushed it off. Today though, this customer told me that I looked like I was getting fat and asked me what happened. So this is someone else. I politely told him, well, maybe it is from overeating while depressed, and he shut up and walked away. There are several issues with this story. The number one issue that I'm finding with Asia's story with this situation is people not minding their business and feeling like it's okay to say hurtful things to someone else. The first person sitting there laughing and then pretty much saying, oh, telling her she was getting fat, talking about the extra pounds that she put on her stomach. Her stomach and her situation or whatever is going on with her is none of your business. Asia didn't even owe the second person the explanation of saying, I've been depressed or I'm going through whatever, because we all go through it. We all go through things. We all go through depression, and she didn't owe that person an explanation. And at the end of the day, I can understand her feeling sad because you're working within the public, and then you have these ignorant people that come in and push their views of what they feel like you should look like on other people. And let's get into that statement. Even within the beauty world, we have so many women out here that love makeup. They may not be advanced or anything like that. They may be beginners, and so many beginners get discouraged because of it's painted of this view of what other people think you should be doing. So much so to the point where you have people that don't even appreciate creativity. They appreciate the basic stuff that anybody can do, but you don't even have people that appreciate the creativity, because there are so many people that are putting people inside of a box of what they think you should be. And that is the most irritating thing to me. But when it comes down to fat shaming, it's pretty much equivalent to the same thing. You have these people out here that are unhappy with themselves, that are putting people who, especially people who appreciate their size and their weight and things like that, they're putting them in a box of what they feel like, or even, I'm gonna get into all of it, but they're putting them in a box of what they think that you should be. And so let's talk about social media when it comes down to that. I'll give you one example. Passion Jones, awesome beauty fashion blogger, whatever. I'm not sure exactly what she defines herself as, but one thing I can say that I love about her is her message. Her message of, and Passion talks about this often, how she is in love with herself and how she gets these hate comments and things like that, and people get upset about her talking about that. There's nothing wrong with her talking about that. Why? Because fat shaming is real. People really take the time out of their day to troll around and call themselves going in on somebody because they're comfortable with themselves, and they may be, I guess, considered to that person overweight. Or even if somebody is overweight or obese and they decide they want to be comfortable with that, what is wrong with that? Let's pause on that. That's what I thought. Nothing's wrong with that, period, point blank. Like, at the end of the day, like, everybody deserves to be comfortable with themselves. They don't deserve to feel like they are less than because they are different. And that's what people's problem are. They're too busy trying to be like everybody else, too busy trying to be the same, a carbon copy of somebody else, and not wanting to be original. So when it comes down to Passion, I really appreciate Passion's message of self-love, her message of self-assurance and things like that. So that's one good thing that she's using on her platform as far as her social media of women's empowerment and, you know, going against fat shaming and things like that. So I feel like her platform is really effective. But another bad thing about social media is I ran across another post of this girl. I'm not really friends with her or anything like that, but she posted a picture with her belly out and she's like, as long as I stay small. Why does you being small equivalent your weight, equivalent to your beauty? It doesn't. And beauty is skin deep and it's from the inside. To me, beauty is character. The way you act, I don't care how beautiful, like this, all of this, I don't care how beautiful I am on the outside. If I had an ugly personality, if I treated people bad, if I did things that I knew were blatantly wrong, then that makes me ugly. Period, point blank. Don't argue with me on that one. We're not going to debate on that one, because at the end of the day, that's what it's about. It's about your heart and the beauty of your heart. Your heart is true beauty when it comes down to it. And so can't stand when we see these memes like, is she fat or is she thick? And then people saying quotes like what I just named from this particular person. Why does it matter is my question. Why does it matter if she perceives herself as fat? If she perceives herself as thick or fat or whatever. Why does it matter? Why does that matter to you? What does it have to do with you? Is it giving you any money? Is it giving you a check? You know, I can digress on that point and say I don't like seeing things like that because it affects our adolescents, our teens. Ugh, I can't get my words out. It affects our adolescents and teens. And it affects them the most, I feel like, because they're the ones that use social media the most. Everybody's on Instagram, everybody's on Facebook, everybody's on Twitter, Tumblr, different social media sites and things like that. And you have these teens that go and they look at these Photoshop pictures of makeup and Photoshop pictures of people's bodies and stuff like that, and they feel like, oh, they aspire to be like that, and they feel like, oh, I'll never be like that. So they feel less confident in themselves, and it affects their self-esteem. Even so much so to the point of, I'm going to get back to the teens, but even so much so to the point of it affects teen dating and adult dating. When it comes down to it, you have these men that are out here ashamed to publicly date a fat woman, or a plus size woman is a positive term. They're ashamed to publicly date a plus size woman, but they're the same ones that'll slide in her DMs. How that work, honey? But, you know, and I call them down low fat shamers. Like, you're a fat shamer as well, because you really like plus size women, but you will dog her out in front of everybody else and be like, oh, I would never talk to her because she too big. Or is another derogatory term or quote is, oh, you cute for a big girl. I've been told that as well, and I'm like, how about I'm just cute? Or how about I'm just pretty? Or whatever the positive term is to say that I'm beautiful. How about I'm just that? But I'm pretty or beautiful for myself, not because of my weight. And that's what the problem is. It's all coming full circle back to that of, you know, teen anorexia and these eating disorders and things like that, or even adults. I need to stop saying teen, because when it comes down to just people, but teens, I feel like they suffer the most because they have, you know, an adolescent mind and things like that. And you have these kids out here that are killing themselves because they're trying to sit up here and keep up with the Joneses of the Joneses, making it seem like they're not good enough just the way that they are. You know what I mean? And it's just not cool. So I'm over the whole thing of these down low men that come out the closet. Come out the closet, honey. I'm over these down low men that want to date plus size women on the low. No, if you cannot date me publicly, you cannot date me at all. And that's just that. I'm sick of these men saying, oh, you're cute for a big girl, or you know, oh, I would never date her because she's fat or she's too fat, or these men that are getting, you know, married to these women, situations where, you know, these women have had their children, married or not, boyfriend, girlfriend, women have had their children, they gain a little baby weight, which is to be expected. And you turn around and, oh, I don't love you no more, oh, I don't like you no more because you're fat or you gain weight. And who are you? Like, but it's no problem for you to sit up there and gain 20 pounds just because and you ain't had no baby. But we gonna digress on that point, honey. But you know, it's like it's a double standard. You know what I mean? Like, it really is a double standard when it comes down to it. It's like men have all of these expectations of women or what they want in a woman, and then they can't meet up to those expectations either. So you know, like, it's just different quotes. Like, I'm tired of skinny girls saying I'm fat, or small girls, so to speak, or women who, you know, if they were to just get their butt up and go to the gym and eat right and lose a couple of pounds, they would essentially be small. I'm sick of that. So you are fat shaming when you say things like that. When it comes down to the whole issue with fat shaming, it is that damaged people are creating more damaged people, or damaged people are hurting other people. And what I mean when I say damaged people are creating other damaged people, because when you say, looking at Asia's situation, when you say things like, oh, you're getting fat and things like that, say Asia was, you know, completely okay with herself, she's going to feel like, oh, well, maybe there is something wrong with me because of something that someone, because of another person's ignorant point of view. And words, regardless of, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words, they freaking hurt. They do hurt people, you know, especially when you have people who are, you know, insecure, already struggling with certain things in their life. Just adding something like that to their plate, you know, takes away from whatever they may already be going through. I guess I'm trying to get my point across with that. Like, it really, it's creating damage. And not everybody is oh so strong to the point that somebody will say something to you and you will be okay because you are self-assured. Not everybody is self-assured. Nowadays, somebody could say to me, oh, you fat ass or whatever, and I'll be like, okay. Because I'm self-assured and I'm self-confident in myself, and I don't really, you know, care about what the next person has to say. But if you run across somebody that's not so much so that it's like that, they're gonna feel like that. And when I think about it, it took me a while to get to this place, because when I was younger, you had people that were, you know, calling me fat and equating my beauty with my weight and things like that, that made me feel less confident. That affected my self-esteem. So when it comes down to teens and things like that, things like fat shaming affects their self-esteem. It affects their friendships. It affects them dating and things like that. It really does affect their life. People don't look at personality. They look at, or the inside. They always are too busy looking at the outside that they don't take the time to look at a person's character. They don't take the time to look at a person's personality and latch onto that. They're always looking at the outside and the material things and things like that. You know what I mean? And it's just not fair. So when it really comes down to it, these damaged people creating other damaged people are people that are unhappy with themselves. So how I feel like we can empower each other and eliminate things like that is to take the time to evaluate ourselves and the things that we say. You know, positive affirmations when it comes down to it. Not saying words like, oh, she's fat. Saying words like, she is plus size. You know, saying words like, if you're going to say she's fat, the PHAT, pretty hot and sensitive, because, you know, that's me. But anyways, so, you know, really like turning a derogatory term into something positive with positive affirmations, and you know, continuing to instill that within our youth, within our children, within ourselves, you know, as adults, and realizing, like, being conscious of the things that we are saying, the things that we were doing, you know, and that's pretty much it when it comes down to it. I just cannot stand the ignorance, so I felt like, you know, this was a queen convo that I really wanted to get into and talk about. I hope that somebody learned something from this. If anybody does have like any other topics or anything like that that they would like to discuss, feel free to send me an email. My email is listed below, and I will definitely get into it and talk about it, because I feel like issues like this are something that need to be addressed, not only just for women and to empower women, but to empower ourselves as people. And you know, if you guys leave here with anything, I think you should leave here with what I always say: adjust your crown, know your worth, and the beauty inside of you is always first. And that is such a true statement. The beauty inside of you is always first, because your character and who you are is what matters. So if you like this video, give this video a thumbs up, especially if you want to see more videos like this. Don't forget to subscribe to my page and hit the notifications bell so you can get notified when I post a new video and become a part of the royal family. And I will talk to you